Hi, thanks for clicking on this video today. Today we are going to make a greeting card with space to put in a gift card as well. And I'll also show you how to make a very cute little sleeve for the gift card. So we start off with an A4 sheet of paper. This is in the previous greeting card video that I've done. I've shown you this, how to do this. To get an A2 size card, you take an A4 size paper, and you have to cut it in half. But what we have to do is we need to create a section here on this side or the left panel of the card where we can insert this gift card. So to do that, I'm going to take the second piece of cardstock that we have, and we need to cut it a little smaller than the panel of the card. Now we need to put the card in here. So what we're trying to do now is to create 3 semicircles into which the card will slide in. So we're trying to create brackets here. So I'm going to keep the card in here. I'm just going to get my pencil. So we keep the card centered like this, and we'll mark here lightly on 3 sides. So this is where the card enters into the bracket. So this, we don't need to do anything with this. So on the left, right and the bottom, we just mark where the card will stand. And next you can take something like a coin or some small circle. So this is about It's about an inch wide, just 2.5 centimeters. I think about 2.5 centimeters about. So you can take something of that dimension, and where we mark the line, I'm actually going to put the thing so that it's halfway over the line, so it's half and half over the line that we've marked it. I'll just extend the line a bit. You can always erase it. So about half and half. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to keep it like this because it'll be easier to see. And then we'll mark the semicircle. So this is what the semicircle will look like. Similarly, we are going to make the semicircles on all the where we have marked the 3 lines. We just need to make sure that we are making the semicircle exactly or almost exactly opposite to this one. So I'm going to make another semicircle here. It looks a little wider than I wanted, so I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, and there. You can always erase out the marks, so we don't need to worry too much about doing it twice over. And similarly, we have to make a semicircle at the bottom as well. This needs to be quite a tight fit, so we need to make sure that it's how we marked it. Yeah. We don't want the card to fall out of the greeting card, so we have to be careful. Next, we will take our cutter, or if you have, you can take any cutter. I prefer using this knife. I'm just going to put the cap on this. We always need to do that, it's very sharp. So to create the sleeve, we need a piece of paper. This I'm using just a large scrap that I have from a different project. And we're going to actually create the type of, I've already shown this fold when we made those different types of envelopes. So it just is, we need to just bring it on to this and bring one flap up. So I'm going to mark I'm just going to cut it off where I think it shall provide enough material to work with. So I don't want to work with a very large piece of paper. Then I'll do the cutting because I find that that's always easier to do. Sorry, before doing that, most of the gift cards, they'll have the name of the company from which you're giving the gift card, like if it's a shop or a bookshop or a apparel shop or whatever it is, it'll have a name here. So we want to show that name so people know where you've gifted it from. Also, you want to tell them how much is the cash that you put into that, but you don't want that to be like, you don't want to probably say that over the phone or something. So you would like some way to convey it. So what I did with the one that I'd done previously was I actually cut out a window, and so when the card is inside, the window will show the name of the shop, and when you pull out the card, I actually wrote the denomination in that space there, so you can see it. So now that's what we'll do. We'll cut the edges, yeah. One other thing that we could have done or should have done was to create a thumb hole here so that you can pull out the card easily. You can still do it, but instead of using a blade, I'll have to try and do it with the scissors. So the same way, if you have a punch, you can do it with a punch. If you have a circle punch, I don't have a circle punch, so I'm going to just do it with this. Draw that there. Because we already stuck it down, it's actually become a bit more difficult than what it should have been if I had just done it before sticking down the paper. I think we can still manage. So here, this is where in this gap, you can take a marker or a pen and you can write the denomination on the card. So if you have put in whatever amount, you can write it like that, so that when the person pulls out the card, they can see how much money is in the card.
So when they go to buy the things, they don't end up either buying for too much and then having to pay the rest of the money. And you don't have to worry about how you're going to tell them how much is there in it. So now we're going to test it.
On the piece that we've made, so since it's not going in, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this a little bit down. I'm going to widen the bend actually. And so the card is ready. This is how the card opens, and the person you can write your sentiments in here. So in the next part of this I'll make this a 2-part video, and in the next part I'll show you how I decorate a card like this, because the video is already gone a bit too long. So